Peace and blessings. My name is Minister Mustafa Abdullah. I am sending this message to the world and especially to my people, the so-called African American or blacks, located within the United States of America. This video is being sent specifically to the users on YouTube known as Ankh Akek, Black.tv, Black Magic 363, Blackson 1977, Black Indigo, Brother Hanif, The 44 Show, Dewan P, Day Storm, Fearless 2005, G Weave, Gina Vices, Glorious Man Destroyer, Hannibal the Radio, King Noble 9, Kim West, Liberation Unit, Life According to Chris, My Name is Samael, Milltown Kid, Nizex, Filthmore 08, Political Kaya, Prince Namor 777, Protein View, Kabbalah God, Kana, Queen Tedasheri, Raj Dreadlock, Realism's Truth, Rev Aaron Judah, Revolutionary INK, Sa Netter 7, Sabi Sun, Scott Naji, Stick 187, Sin Q, Tehudi Black, The Duke of Tears, The Shakat Amak Show, The Tanya TKA Show, The Wacky World of O, and Torah Revival, for the purpose of help in the dissemination of this video to the masses and a call to action to them to join me in this cause. On September 11, 2009, I will be marching on, hopefully not alone, the Territory United Nations building located in New York City, New York, consisting of the borders of First Avenue on the west, East 42nd Street on the south, East 48th Street on the north, and the East River on the east, for the purpose of truth. I specifically chose this date, understanding its significance. It has been said that on September 11th of 2001, the citizens of the United States were awakened by the events that transpired that day. Well, if that is true, then let the coming date again be known as such, and may the awakening light be even brighter and greater, with truth allowed to shine with all its might. On this day, I will call on and demand that the 192 member states, along with those sovereign states that are also included in the organization known as the United Nations, come together as a consortium for the purpose of determining, verifying, and pronouncing by way of mandate the true identity, nationality, and in the end, I believe sovereignty of the group of people known throughout the world as African Americans or blacks, living in and claimed as citizens with the United States of America. Other names attributed to this group include, but are not limited to, Hebrew Israelites, Moors, Kemites, Africans, Asiatics, Negroes, and colored. I will call on and demand that the held discussions for this truth also include voices from representatives within the so-called African American or black community, who proclaim a voice in the truth of our identity, as well as so-called academia and scholars of world history, African history, and specifically African American or black history, from both within and without the so-called African American or black community. Truth must be the defining voice, the deafening voice. Evidence, all evidence, and arguments must be allowed, presented, investigated, and the discerning eye, ear, and mouth of truth applied to truly, fully, and finally bring about true reparation, which is the act or process of repairing or the condition of being repaired, the act or process of making amends, expiation, which is needed by and justly afforded the rights to by the so-called African American or blacks living in and claimed as citizens within the United States of America, with said reparation being a knowledge of true self and national sovereignty with the freedom of national self-determination. In doing so, The United Nations will fulfill its own stated aims as dictated within the Charter of the United Nations. Chapter 1, Purposes and Principles. Article 1. The purposes of the United Nations are to maintain international peace and security, and to that end, to take effective collective measures for the prevention and removal of threats to the peace, and for the suppression of acts of aggression or other breaches of the peace, and to bring about by peaceful means and in conformity with the principles of justice and international law, adjustment or settlement of international disputes or situations which might lead to a breach of the peace, to develop friendly relations among nations based on respect for the principle of equal rights and self-determination of peoples, and to take other appropriate measures to strengthen universal peace, to achieve international cooperation in solving international problems of an economic, social, cultural, or humanitarian character, and in promoting and encouraging respect for human rights and for fundamental freedoms for all without distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion, and to be a center for harmonizing the actions of nations in the attainment of these common ends. To underline the seriousness of these demands, I will impose on myself, as of that day of September 11th, 2009, a hunger strike conducted there at the United Nations territory until I am allowed to come before the General Assembly defined in the Charter of the United Nations. Chapter 4, the General Assembly, Composition. Article 9, the General Assembly shall consist of all the members of the United Nations. To repeat said demands. To my brothers and sisters there in New York, I will be arriving on September 1st, and I hope that I will be able to meet with you so that we can come together in this cause, in this march, for we are one. I will seek to arrive at 125th Street in Harlem, because I know that is a central location, if you will. I hope to see you there. I hope that you can help me in my endeavor. God bless. Peace and love.